Hello and welcome to the final day of Daily Writes. Thank you very much for joining me. It's Friday, it's the end of the week, so today we're going to have a go at playing with some music and seeing how that affects our writing or not. As with lots of the exercises we've done this week, it might be something that you really like or it might not be for you, but as always it's just a case of having a go and trying it. Some people always write to music, some people prefer silence, and I know people that write to kind of noise but not necessarily music. But today we're going to give it a go and see what happens. I've got 3 specially commissioned pieces of music for you, by which I mean I've nagged my other half to make them for me so that I don't have to pay any royalties or get into any trouble when we put this on YouTube. So you'll be hearing some brand new music today as well for a Friday. So for the first piece of music I'm going to play, I'm just going to play you 1 minute to start with, and that's the length of your writing exercise. And what I want you to do is just write down a few notes about what visuals it brings to mind. So the thing I find music really helpful is that I'm not necessarily a visual writer. I find it hard to kind of picture things. So I think there's something that we connect music to kind of cinema and big images that I find music really helps. So I'm going to play you a minute of music, and I just want you to write either a couple of notes or 1 or 2 sentences about, you know, if this was a soundtrack on a film, what are you seeing on screen? So it might just be something like a cityscape, a lone woman, a man and his son in a bedsit. You know, we're not asking for big descriptions, it's only a minute, but just have a go and see what you can do. So I'm trying some new tech, so hopefully I can play the music for you directly through my computer, but we'll see and give this a go. So get your pen ready. We've got 1 minute and your writing time starts now. No, it will start now. So that's that. That was only a minute. It's super short, but hopefully there was just enough there to give you a little bit of an idea. So maybe you've pictured a scene, so whether it's beach or countryside or city, maybe there's a character in it. I don't know, it depends what it did for you, but hopefully it's the start of something. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the same piece of music, but I'm going to play it all the way through. So you're going to have 3 minutes this time. It's going to be a free writing exercise again. So as always, it's just about starting writing and seeing what comes out. Don't edit yourself. Don't worry about whether it makes any sense. It might be that in that last exercise, you've got a visual, and in this one, you start to think about who the character is that is there. You might just want to keep describing the scene, so it might just carry on from what you've just written. You might just want to sit and listen to the music and zone out, and that's absolutely fine. It's Friday. So I'm going to play the full 3 minutes this time, and then we'll come back and we'll do the next exercise after that. So your 3 minutes of writing starts now. That's your timer on that one. If you were listening very carefully to that music, you might have heard a couple of bangs. We were trying to record it last night and somebody was setting fireworks off nearby. It's all very high tech down here. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think the thing with music for me is it's really evocative, but I think what was also really interesting is that people interpret it completely differently. Excuse me. So the first time I heard that piece of music, I definitely pictured a kind of space type feeling. But then when I listened back to it this morning, it was more kind of cityscape, waking up, which is maybe just the time of day that I was listening to it. And that's something else that's always really worthwhile trying with any of these exercises, actually, is doing them at different times of day or in a different mood. And you will find that really different things come out of it. But anyway, hopefully you've got something from that. Like I say, it might just be the seed of an idea, a couple of words, an emotion. That's absolutely fine. These things will kind of sit with you and through the rest of the day, maybe next week, you will find they start to filter in and little ideas pop up. It is very much just about keeping that creative muscle going. So we're now going to repeat the exercise, but with a very different piece of music. It's entirely up to you, and you might not know until you start whether you want this to follow on from the last piece. So you might literally carry on that same sentence that you were just writing and see how the music changes it. It might be that it feels like a new scene, but in the same story. Or it might be something completely different. I would just listen to the music because we're not going to do a run in this time. We're just going to have the 3 minutes. You might want to just listen to the first few seconds, see what it feels like, and then again, just start writing and see what happens. And we're just going to go with it. So this is your next piece of music, and this is also 3 minutes long. So if you want to start writing now. go, that was your second piece of music. So obviously that one was a bit more upbeat. It'd be interesting to see how that affects your writing, whether it affects it in style or whether it just feeds into the story in a different way. So we're just going to do one more exercise, and we're just going to do the same thing again with another piece of music. Again, it's fine if this feels like a completely different piece of writing, if you want to ignore what you've just written and start again, or whether you want to try and continue the story on and see if you get those different patterns and different flows because of the music feeding into what you're writing. So this is your final exercise of today and of the week. And this is another piece of music which is 3 minutes long, and we're going to free write again to this one. So your music starts now. So that's it. That's your time up, and that's the final activity for today. So it's Friday morning, it's not even 10:30, and you've made time to write. So really well done. Genuinely, it is really hard sometimes to feel like we've got the time to write. But I hope that what these exercises this week have done is shown that even if you've just got a few minutes to scribble something down, it is really worth doing. So, you know, in 10-minute blocks this week, we've created characters and we've put them in situations. We have thought about things that matter to us, and we've come up with lots of different story ideas that we might want to start with. We've used a few pictures to make a whole story up. What else have we done? We wrote inspired by different styles and different genres. And then today, obviously, we've been responding to music. So, you know, I'm the worst for saying I haven't got time to write. And sometimes life does get in the way, and that is absolutely fine. But you know, it's worth thinking about carrying a notebook around with you if you're on the bus to work, if the kids are in bed first thing in the morning or last thing at night. Whenever you get a chance, just scribble a few things down. One thing you can do is, when you've got a few minutes, is make the title of lots of lists that then when you've got the time to write, you might pick a list and just have a go at it. So it might be character names, it might be places to describe, you know, whatever you want. If you've missed any of the exercises this week, they are all on YouTube. So if you Google the word daily writes YouTube, you will find them there. If you have enjoyed writing daily, the other thing I would recommend is a podcast by a guy called Tim Clare, who does something called the Couch to 80K. You don't have to write 80K in the podcast, so don't worry about that. But it is the thing that got me writing again during lockdown. I don't know Tim, I'm not under commission or anything like that. But it's a very similar thing. So he kind of does a podcast that you can listen to. You know, he's got the whole lot online, so you can just go on and pick which one you listen to. And he just does little kind of 10-minute writing exercises, very similar to this, but probably a bit more structured. So that's it. I hope you find it interesting and inspiring. Go back and try the exercises again. Thank you so much for coming and joining in. I've really enjoyed running them. If you are on Twitter, do let me know how you get on. So I'm at InkProducer, INK Producer, and you can also tag the Word who put these events on, which is at theword_UK. And that's it. So thank you so much for joining in and taking part, and keep up with the good work. See you soon.